Now I'm gonna just give you some of my personal advice for your proposal in this course, because teaching this course for many years has taught me a lot of lessons that I can communicate it with you so you can avoid this kind of mistakes. First, don't include your story of Eric search in the final proposal. What does it mean? Some students, they write like a few paragraphs just to explain what keywords they used, how they used, or what databases they used to search, and that's not quite useful in a research article. The other thing is you may include a mini review in pre-proposal to get feedback. As you know, in this course, you're gonna write a pre-proposal before your final proposal, and it's not required in that pre-proposal to have a literature review, but you may have it so you can get early feedback on that. Number 3, don't be persuasive or advocating something. That's I've seen a lot. A research paper is different from a creative writing, so you gotta avoid, persuasions, avoid supporting or advocating a theory or a method or a tool or a computer or a software or something like that. Avoid using anything that shows your bias or you're taking sides in your literature review and throughout your research. The other thing is you avoid searching for the obvious, which means, a lot of time students write a proposal and just reading their proposal, I see they already know the answer. So if you already know the answer, why do we need to do a research? Just to have another proof that it's working? That's not a good idea for a research question. Another thing is that sometimes students, because in the introduction of your literature review, I ask you to talk about the importance of your research question, and students do that most of the time. But remember that I'm not asking about the importance of the general topic. I'm asking about the importance of your specific topic. For example, your research is about autism. Okay, autism is important. Everybody knows that. But for example, you're proposing that we need to do a research about the siblings of students with autism, and in your introduction you have to explain why is it important to do a research on their siblings, not to write like 2 pages about why autism is so important, because everybody knows that autism is important, but we are wondering why your specific topic is important. The other thing is, don't use the format used or suggested in another course, because I've seen students use for example, they got a good grade on some of their course projects, and they want to do the same method in a research paper. Usually it doesn't work, because a research paper is totally different from a term project or a course project that you use in other courses. It has a specific format, it has a specific requirements, it has a specific language that is not appropriate to use the other formats that you used in other courses. And also, don't use your papers from other courses. In other courses, you're supposed to actually support an idea, you have to justify a method, you have to explain the applications of a specific software or a specific method. But in a research method course or in a research article, you're supposed to be quite neutral and very objective. So it's not recommended to use the papers that you use in other courses to start with your research proposal or your research article. And my final words for you is: number one, get a complete reference for your for each article. As you read the research, don't wait till the end of your project. As soon as you see an article or a work, you write it down or use RefWorks in the library. There is a software that you can use to actually make the reference list as you are going through these articles. Also, in the new citations, you're supposed to write the DOI, or Digital Object Identifier. So don't forget, if there is such a number, you have to include it in your reference. Find suggestions for further research. At the end of most research articles, there are some suggestions for further research. I believe that's the best way you can find a good topic, a good and important topic for your research. So as you're going through your literature review, if you see any suggestions at the end, usually it's in the conclusion of the research, you can use that to come up with a good idea for your research. Criticize, modify, and extend an existing research. Okay, when you read an article, like I said, I don't recommend to copy or to duplicate the research that you just read. Instead, you can criticize what are the problems with this research, and then you come up with a research idea to modify that research or to extend it to make it better and more useful or answer more questions. You can also combine or contrast existing results. Most of the time you see researchers come with different conclusions, actually the opposite conclusions. And if you find a case like that, that's a good opportunity to come with an idea to do a research to see which side is supported by your research. And also finally, you look for gaps and contradictions in the literature. So if you see something is missing, if you see the research has focused on a specific type of behavior, or research has focused on a specific type of people, and you have a good reason that if you do the research on a different group, the results might be different, then that's an opportunity for you to propose a research to repeat that research in a new situation under new condition and see what happens.